Hey pre-calc, Miss Soli here, and here we're gonna work on writing the equations of logarithmic graphs or logarithmic functions this time. All right, 3.4, write equations of log functions. Some shorthand there. So writing an equation of a logarithmic function. Like I said on the previous video, sometimes they'll just give you points. Sometimes they'll give you a graph. This time I'm going to give you both. Because I think the visual is really important with the logarithmic function. I'm giving you no context, like with how no scale here, but that's okay. This is the point 1, 0. This is the point 25, 2. Write an equation for this logarithm. So in this case, my basic log function, y equals log base b of x, because my asymptote here is at 0, so there's nothing fancy really here. If I were to rewrite this in exponential form, your base is b. Your exponent is the answer here, and then equals x. So if I were to plug in a coordinate point here, so like this is x, this is y, right? This would just be b raised to the 0 equals 1, which is like true. Anything raised to the 0 is 1, but that doesn't really help me find b. b could still be anything. So let's plug in this other point. B to the 2 is 25. This I can solve for b. Square root both sides. b is 5. Okay, so now I have enough to write an equation. Y equals log base 5 of x. Now let's get a little bit spicier, shall we? For example, let's say I'm going to give you 2 points on this one too. It's going to have the same shape though. I'm not spicing it up too much. Let's say this is the point 7, 0. And this is the point 19, 1. Okay, so what's trickier about this one is the asymptote is not at 0. This is not your standard function. So my equation is going to change a little bit. Log base b of x minus a. Remember, your vertical asymptote is, when is this going to be equal to 0? So this will be equal to 0 when x is a. X equals a is the vertical asymptote. Like that's when that will, what's in this parenthesis, be equal to 0. And how I find that asymptote. So the kind of magic number in a logarithm is 1. And that's because of that 0 product property or 0 exponent property. Anything raised to the 0 is 1. And so that's kind of a major point in logarithms. So what you're looking for to find a is how far away is your x-intercept from 1. So how far away is your x-intercept from 1? And it is 6. It is 6 away. How far is the x-intercept from 1? Like from the point 1, 0. And it's 6. A is 6. All right, so then if I do plug that in, y equals log base b of x minus 6. So that means I have like a vertical asymptote here at 6. So what that's giving. So now let's plug in our x and y values. I'm going to plug in this 19, 1. 1. So this is x, this is y. 1 equals log base b of 19 minus 6. 19 minus 6 is 13. Log base b of 13. Let's rewrite this in exponential form. B raised to the 1 is 13. So B is 13. The reason I didn't plug in this 701 is the answer would be 0. So B raised to the 0. Again, it's just not a helpful nugget of information. But B is 13. So now I've got enough to write my equation. Y equals log base 13 of x minus 6. On these questions, if you ever wanted to check your work, you could plug this into Desmos and see if these 2 points are on the graph you graph. I've just got one more example for you. Okay. So here's my graph. It was not a very clear graph that I drew in my notes here. Let's see, this is 2. And this point here is -8. 0 and 0, 2. Okay. All right. So this one I think is trickier because the vertical asymptote is on the negative side. But let's jump into it. So y equals log base b of x minus a. Let's find a. So a is the distance from your x-intercept to 1. How far apart is -8 to 1? This distance here is 9. So a is 9. So y equals log base b of x minus 9. That's your vertical asymptote. -9. Right, sorry, -9. The distance from 1 back here, because it's going in the negative direction, towards -8, because this wouldn't make sense to have an asymptote over here at 9. A -9, which is the same as +9. There we go. Which that makes sense that the asymptote is there at -9. Okay. So then let's plug in some points. If I plug in this point here, 0 for x and 2 for y. So 2 equals log base b of 0 plus 9. 2 equals log base b of 9. If I rewrite this in exponential form, your base is b, your exponent is 2 equals 9. Square root both sides. B equals 3. And that is then your equation. So y equals log base 3 of x plus 9.